I mean, why are you going to go so far that you don't even know where you're at? Don't even know how to find your way back, where nobody can even come and get you? What do you need to go that far for? And so I'm disappointed in the artist for not looking out for one another, for not empowering other artists, for not taking care of each other psychologically. As a matter of fact, nobody exploits other people's psychology more so than other artists who succeed. If you want to see who's preying on the artists that have psychiatric problems, a lot of times it's other artists. And so what happens when you're the one that was playing with everybody else's mind, and then it turns into something where your mind ends up being the one that's played with? One thing we can say about Kanye West is that he gives it all he's got. Whether you like it or not, agree with it or not, he gives it all that he's got. And you've got to release the things from your mind or it will run you crazy. And some of the things that I knew he was saying over these years, I said, okay, this is on his mind. This is weight. This has got to come out. This is what a lady called brain dumping. You got to get that stuff out of your head. Because some people have the capacity to hold incredible wisdom and incredible knowledge and volume and content in their head, and we don't hear from them. Some people are compelled to speak. They have to speak. They're supposed to speak. In what form than being an artist? You know, they say the poets were always these complicated people, and a rapper is really nothing but a miserable, tormented poet a lot of times. And I don't care how beautiful you think those poems are, and I don't care how wonderful you think those raps are. Let me tell you something about it from the perspective of a real writer and an artist. Okay? I don't care how beautiful it is. It takes a certain kind of pain that you have to endure to find out what beauty really even means. You have to go through something. People don't understand that pleasure and beauty is painful. Gosh, it's painful. It might be more painful than being hurt because it feels so damn good. The fear associated with losing it. The fear of not being able to get back to it again. The fear of having it in your possession and no longer being able to hold it anymore. It's pain. A beautiful pain that you're willing to go through, where you're willing to say, man, that feels so good. I'm willing to hurt for it. And that's why they call us fools for love. And our mediums, as entertainers, as artists, as politicians, as professionals, that all becomes our medium. That all becomes our beauty. That becomes all of our pain when we take it serious. And so when you see people going into depression, when you see people that don't know where they can go to find peace anymore, when you see people that feel like they're at the end of the line, got everything in the world, and I feel like I have nothing, or I have the Midas touch, everything I touch turns to gold, I got all of it, but I can't keep it. That's all pain. It's a beautiful pain. And it might hurt worse than the hurt. And that's why we're supposed to keep ourselves and one another in balance. And so I'm praying for Kanye, because he failed a lot of people. He did a lot of good things for millions of people, but he failed a lot of people. Maybe the people that he failed is who he should have been focused on, because those are the people that will help him walk themselves out of his affliction. If you're surrounded by the right people, they're not going to let you get to that point. I had an experience on Thanksgiving, and I want to share this with you to make sure that you know that I'm a real and living person, that I'm speaking from experience. 2, my uncle is a very troubled person, and I've been looking out for him. And on Thanksgiving, he was doing everything you're not supposed to do. Doesn't care how he influences other people, doesn't care who he impacts. And he said some very hurtful things trying to embarrass me publicly in front of people that are just broken, people that really have wasted their life. And at one point in time, he told people out loud, after knowing nothing about me, just to try to be hurtful, he said, you're breaking the law too. He said, you're a panhandler, calling me like a bum. Just for the hell of it. I'm talking about a man sitting in complete squalor, who wasted a whole life, who is known for filth and destruction, who has become the devil, literally, a devil with people who love him, was trying to embarrass me in public, right? And the only thing that he had left to give is the pain that lives within him that he can project and subject onto other people. See, when they start projecting and transferring their own inner negativity on other people, it's them that are hurting. But guess what happened? As fate would have it, all of these young guys who you don't really know is really paying attention to you or listening to you or learning from you, stepped in and intervened and told my uncle where he was wrong in public, in front of everybody. And I wasn't expecting anything like that. And I wasn't looking for it because, hell, after you go through enough stuff and you see enough things, you don't think anybody cares about anybody. And to see those young men stand up there and say, hey, look, that man doesn't bother anybody. You shouldn't even be doing that. I knew that I had a social responsibility, and I worked on that for a long time with actions. I didn't talk to them. I don't talk at them. They're not going to go talking about I was preaching to them and all that. Let my actions speak. And when I do talk to them, they know I actually have something to say to them. Because no matter what you get, you're supposed to use what you get to give it back to the society after you get yours. They're helping you get there, man. You're supposed to go out to the broken vessels and make sure that you keep them in balance. When you put those pieces together, you glue them in a way they won't fall apart again unless somebody breaks it again or unless they break themselves. But you put it together so that if somebody takes care of it, it'll be taken care of again. And it might be better as a broken vessel than it was before it was ever broken. When you think that these young men are out here, all of them are just hopeless and doing everything possible that's wrong. And then the people that you think come from the worst place are using the most common sense that people with the most in society don't even have, that tells you something. Now, I can't say everybody down there on those streets is a quality person or a model citizen. But the ones who matter, you can't forget those people. A lot of people help these artists become who they are and keep what they have. And when those people get what they want and get themselves to wherever they think they're supposed to be to give them their social status, they forget all the people that got them there. And then you end up in that cold, dark, lonely room with yourself, with no place to hide and nowhere to run, where the walls are closing in, your mind starts tightening, and then you end up running off into your mind, going so far and getting lost to the point where you can't find your way back out, and then you snap. You become sensitive. You feel picked on. And even if it's true, even if you're being subjected to it, you let yourself get to a point where they could get close enough to you emotionally where they can keep drawing that back out of you. I don't think anything's wrong with Kanye that we need to be worried about in terms of his ability to be a responsible person. We need to worry about the people that he's surrounding himself with that are bringing out the worst in him rather than the best in him. And he needs to be a better person at selecting the kinds of things that he's going to put himself around or get out of the game for a while so that he can regroup. Because the same people that push you to the top are the same people that are trying to push you back down the hill when you get there. Because if you don't make room for everybody who thinks that they got you there, guess what? Some of them are going to try to make sure that you end up where you were. And when you get back to that place where you're getting real again and your mama's not there, and you don't know if you can trust your family and your cousins, everybody's dependent upon you, you did everything you can, and it seems like when you need somebody, when you really need somebody, the people that you actually need to need you, nobody's anywhere to be found. All the people you thought your friends were your friends, they're not really your friends. They don't really love you. They don't really care about you. They didn't really just check on you. I've been through all that. I was subjected to something a few years ago that was intended to destroy my life and my career before 9/11. And I knew then, I said, this is not something that can happen from a bunch of locals or just some people that are in some type of a state research investment. I said, this is a political investment. This is the real thing. I said, you're going to have to go through it, because if you don't go through it and learn from this, either you're going to kill somebody or somebody's going to have to kill you to stop you from killing somebody. I mean, they had me back then. And some of the same artists, like Kanye, were contributing to that chaos, helping the system take other people down, and that was how they were able to get their status. And so eventually everybody starts finding out your secrets. Like, man, I didn't really earn all this. I did all this bad stuff to people. And your conscience and your moral compass starts to come back, and you find out you're all by yourself. You got millions of people that you know, all of this money at your disposal, all of these people who say they love you, but you still feel completely alone. I'm praying for Kanye. And whatever comes of this, if we're not making him stronger, we're making him weaker. And it's going to be up to him to show us what we need to do for him. As a disclaimer, I just want to make sure that I talk about this part too. Kanye's not the only one going through a lot of trouble. Society has a psychiatric problem in general right now. Everybody does in some kind of way. We've been traumatized and subjected and overexposed to way too much. Everybody. It's not just him. I'm going to say this. If you're doing something to somebody to hurt them emotionally, to break them down, why are you doing that? What do you hope to achieve from it? What are you going to get from it? And if you're an artist or you're a successful person and you're exploiting people mentally, emotionally, and psychologically to take advantage of them, why are you doing that? I mean, are we in the business of seeing who we can destroy and tear down? I'm in a community that invests in that as a whole community so that they can write about it and make parody of it and sell other people's lives and their stories to make money for their own self-sustainability at the expense of other people. I'm in a community that breeds that. I'm in a state that breeds that. What have we become as a society when we have no moral compass? What makes artists think that they become so big and so powerful? I've seen this happen with thousands of athletes. You think you become so powerful that nobody can tell you anything. And I watched multimillionaires, people with $100 million, end up with nothing, can't even buy a cheeseburger. How do you explain that, right? What does it profit a man or a woman to gain the whole world and lose their soul? I'm going to leave you with that thought. So you can say what you want about me and judge me. I've been through it. I wasn't going to put myself into something and sell my soul to the devil to make people who don't matter think that I'm more important than I actually was. I said, when I get there, if I get there, and when I get there, I'm going to do it the right way. I'm going to do it on the right basis, and I'm going to do it because I deserve it, not because I just want to be popular, not just because I want people to like me, not just because I want people to accept me. That's not pure. And Kanye needs to get back to his pure, and everything will be fine. He didn't get messed up until he started going in too deep in the wrong places. If people love you, don't hurt the people that you love. And arrogance and money, whether it's Kanye or whether it's Donald Trump or anybody, arrogance can make you hurt the people that you love. To the contrary, you can't let the people that you love hurt you, because the people that can hurt you the most when you have something to lose are the people that you love. God bless you.